I met my husband when I was 17 and he was 23. It was love at first sight. Within 12 months, we were living together. I always loved kids and always wanted to have children when the time was right. Well, I fell pregnant at 18. We discussed our options but chose to keep the baby. I continued working up until the month before I gave birth. My husband proposed halfway through the pregnancy. The pregnancy went well. No one in my family ever had issues in pregnancy or sick babies. The birth went well. I delivered my daughter naturally with no complications. I went back to the ward and tried feeding her all night. Even at 19, I knew in my gut something wasn't right. She didn't pass meconium or wee. My life turned upside down when the doctor performed his morning rounds. My daughter needed to be life flighted to the nearest children's hospital. After a few tests, we discovered she was born with Hirschsprung's disease and required urgent bowel surgery. What followed was years of infections, checkups, and dilations. I literally had to insert a hard plastic rod into her anus so she could pass a bowel motion. She wasn't reaching milestones, so an MRI found she had agenesis of the corpus callosum. The bridge that joins the two halves of the brain together is missing. Despite this, she was the most beautiful, happy, smiling soul we could ask for. My life revolved around hospital and therapy. 2 years later, we decided to try for another baby. This is where life really kicked me in the guts. I fell pregnant with our son immediately. We consulted geneticists and everything so we wouldn't be bringing another sick and disabled child into this world. All was well until 25 weeks. My amniotic fluid kept accumulating. I was massive. I had amniocentesis to check for Down syndrome and an amniotic fluid drain because I was getting bigger. An MRI confirmed our son also had agenesis of the corpus callosum. We were given 24 hours to decide whether to terminate or continue with the pregnancy. I love my son, but choosing to continue is my biggest regret. My pregnancy from then on was high risk. I couldn't give birth anywhere other than the women's hospital. I was induced. When the midwife broke my waters, I had to have another midwife insert her hand inside me to make sure my son's arms or legs didn't come out with the fluid. The birth was fairly normal, but my son had to be taken to NICU immediately. We discovered at 1 day old he also had Hirschsprung's disease, and he also required emergency heart surgery. The decision was made to give him a stoma and send him to another hospital for heart surgery at 7 days old. We soon discovered they have an incredibly rare syndrome. So rare, we were the only family in the world at the time to have siblings with the syndrome. They are now 26 and 23. My son is nothing like my daughter. His whole life he's been in and out of hospital. He's stubborn, difficult, a fussy eater. My daughter can walk a short distance, but my son is in a wheelchair. Any hope of him walking was lost when we were hit head-on by a speeding driver 10 years ago. The insurance payout went to making our home disability-friendly. They are both incontinent. They both have stomas. The bulk of the care falls on me because my husband works full-time. I have given up on my dreams for a life that doesn't revolve around doing every single thing for 2 other adults, or having the career I dreamed of. I don't have friends, and quite frankly, I don't want any. I nursed my mom through her cancer journey. She lost the fight last year. I lost the most amazing mother I could have had and my best friend. I often think about not being here, but who would care for my children? It's sad to say, but I need to outlive them. The thought of them not being cared for properly petrifies me.